Hey everybody, how's it going today? And welcome back to another exciting episode. And as you can probably tell from both the title and from the thumbnail, yes, it is crazy to think that it literally just came across my desk that I had to look up online to learn that there are some colleges like Duke University, if not other private universities, that have officially hit a full tuition, including room and board, of $80,000 American dollars for their upcoming school year, which is crazy because we just had a school year where almost every single university canceled 1/3 of their school year. So it is insane to think that obviously, despite the fact that yes, there are many students that are going on some kind of scholarship, whether it's merit, athletic, or financial aid of some kind, it is still a thought to realize that there will be students that will attend university, potentially paying the sticker price this upcoming year, even if it means taking out loans, which for many students it probably will be the case, to afford being able to go to college/university, paying $80,000 with no possible guarantee that classes will happen, because as we possibly know, there are many colleges, such as I believe some of the UCs, that are already very heavily thinking about moving their classes online next year, and the fact that there's probably going to be limited courses available, given the fact that there's many classes that cannot necessarily happen if they do that, such as theater, any kind of lab class, hands-on class, art, anything that involves really having to be there in person. They're going to potentially either not have that class, or there's no guarantee it's actually going to happen. And added to the fact that many of the students that are already in college or that are entering college, and maybe it'll be better 4 years down the line, but certainly possibly even just 1 or 2 years when they're going to be applying for internship, they're going to potentially have to either graduate or apply for internships in a job market that we are seeing right now with 20% unemployment. So between everything such as classes being canceled, to limited courses offered, to 20% unemployment, to the fact that college tuition at many places has officially hit $80,000, it really makes you think, is college really still worth it today? And I think regardless of who you are probably someone that is either in university right now, have already graduated university, or certainly have some point have maybe even contemplated university today. And obviously when you look online, there will be so many different articles and people pinpointing and talking about how college is a scam, it's not worth it, it's crazy, I'm glad I did not go to college, all sorts of different videos. But for me personally, I actually am someone that actually genuinely really loved my college career and really thought it was worth it. But granted, I was able to go to college at a much cheaper time, and this wasn't even that many years ago. I graduated less than 5 years ago, but nonetheless I was also able to go on financial aid, so I definitely paid much less than $80,000. But nonetheless, it really makes you question that, given the case that we are in today, is it really worth it to go to college if you're gonna have to pay over $80,000 for this upcoming school year? And that is what we are going to explore in today's video. Stay tuned. But real quick before we begin, make sure to smash that like button because it really helps out the channel, and also consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. Okay, let's get the video rolling. Okay, so I think if you really want the very fast answer to all of this is whether or not college and university is still worth it to attend today in 2020, is that it really depends. It depends on your life goal, it depends on what you're looking for, it depends on how you do it, it depends on what you study, but also what you're actually looking for in life. And so that's what today's video is going to be about. Okay, so I think in order to make this video, I think it is maybe a little bit important for me to give a little bit of my background, because I think one of the biggest differences in me making this video and many other people is I feel that most of the people that you will see that make some kind of comment about how college is a scam, it's just a business, they're money hungry, all that kind of stuff, is I feel that most of these people, again in my personal opinion, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about it, so definitely stick to the end, I feel like a lot of these people either didn't do college right, or they're people that are making this video but have never actually been to college. So you are basically talking about people who are grateful they didn't do a certain something because they didn't actually do a certain something, so they don't even know what life is like doing that something. So they're making videos about why I'm so glad to not do a certain something, but they don't actually know what life is even like because they've never actually gone there. A little bit about me is that as someone that went to a 4-year private university and graduated less than 5 years ago, I studied civil engineering, and I think that it's fair to say that being in my engineering major, it wasn't too hard to get a job. I was able to, get a job. I was able to work a very, very decent middle class salary. But in the end, I actually eventually ended up leaving the engineering field for a whole bunch of different reasons. I did, no, not me, but I did collab on a video where I talk a little bit about that. Maybe I'll put it inside of the description or something like that. But for me personally, I personally really, really loved the college experience. Not necessarily even because of the financial side, but even on a social aspect, because when you go to college, I think that it's not just the financial air that you're able to gain, at least in my personal opinion. Me being in college, I feel is that it was so beneficial in so many areas of life, because first off is, at least for me, right, I personally think that first off is the college experience, at least if you do it right, I feel like it can be one of the best times in your life just because it's fun. I think that like when you go to college, on a social and personal fulfillment aspect, you're able to basically go there, do a whole bunch of different clubs, activities, classes, explore around, all of the connections, the friends that you can meet. So there is definitely a practical aspect to it too. It's not like I'm trying to vouch to go to college to just party all day. I think that what's beautiful about college is that when you look at it in the big picture, there's just so many different things to experience in college, so many memories to be made. I mean, how many times can you live on a campus with like a whole, who knows, thousands of people that are the same exact age as you, that are on like the same mission to go through college. You're able to go through all of this stuff, explore all of the clubs. Yes, you can do this after college, but the difficulty is definitely not to the level as when you're part of the actual college community, where you're able to access their network, their resources, all of their activities, all sorts of different things, including their classes, professors, and all that kind of good stuff that kind of comes into it. I personally think that when you're looking at college tuition right now and it's like over 80,000, which is crazy because when I went to my private university back then, now granted I was lucky because I went on financial aid and scholarships, so I paid much less than $80,000. But even if, at the full sticker price, I believe when I went to college, the full sticker price, I think when I came into college was maybe about $58,000 to $60,000, and I think when I left it was maybe about $65,000, 65 when I finally left about 4 years later. But granted, even then, like, I paid much less. Like, we're talking about something in the upper 4 digits, very, very low, like around $10,000 per year or so. I think the biggest thing, first off, that a lot of people overlook is that despite the fact that college is so ridiculously expensive, I think a lot of people overlook the fact that first off is that most people do not pay the sticker price. So first off is that you might see college tuition at like $80,000 per year and think, this is a scam. Can you really make $80,000 back? But I think what a lot of people overlook is that most people, in fact, it's very rare actually to pay the full sticker price. It definitely has happened, and I definitely know tons of people, but most people, at least I like to think, that when they go to college, they're likely going to be on financial aid, scholarship, whether it's for like not having a ton of money, so need-based financial aid, or for just doing very good at a certain something, whether it's academics or being able to play a sport of some kind. The other big note I think also is that a lot of people overlook the fact that like right now, yes, we are talking about private universities, but there are also so many different options for public universities that are significantly cheaper, where you could potentially go to college even without a scholarship for just around $20,000 to $30,000, which is very different than $80,000 today. I will admit I was on like a scholarship slash financial aid. When I did the math, I think I only paid about $10,000. I live in New York City. If I stayed in New York City, my cost of living would already be over $10,000 per year, or certainly during that like 9 to 10 month time period that I would be in college. So it actually was cheaper to put me in college. But I think that even if I had to like pay, not $80,000, but even if it was a little bit more than what I actually physically paid, I think the big thing is that there are so many things that you can learn and gain from the college experience on a personal level. I think that by going to college, everything from like all of the great friends, the memories, the network, the connections, the professors, professors, the alumni, the classes, even just on a personal level, learning myself. I think that because I went to college, I was able to do all sorts of different clubs, especially for me, like being someone who studied engineering, but was also able to do all sorts of different creative clubs, like doing theater and music and volunteering community service. These are the clubs and activities that I was a part of. And even being able to travel. You know, I never even studied abroad, but I did a lot of travel programs where I kind of went to other places to kind of do service and all sorts of different things. I think that it was by exploring so many different things, I was able to learn so much about myself that even when I actually graduated and go into the real world, I think what was beautiful about that is that even though I ended up leaving engineering, because I had such a wide exposure to so many different things, I learned so much about myself that I knew and had a much greater idea about what I wanted to do after college. Some people will probably say, oh, come on, man, you know, you studied engineering and now you're walking away. Is it really, really worth it and all that kind of stuff? And I personally think yes, I think it was absolutely worth it, even though I left engineering in the end. And I think it was because the big thing I think is that, well, first off is that when I came into college, I actually loved engineering. I personally became an engineer because I actually personally found being able to design buildings, highways, bridges, and all of that good stuff is something that's very, very fascinating. In fact, a couple of my first videos on this channel were about engineering, architecture, and all that kind of stuff. And I think that all that really ended up happening is that I just found something better. So really, to basically summarize this video, I think what I'm really trying to get here is I think that for me, at least personally, having been to college, knowing the fact that I think that, you know, of course I'm biased because I actually had a great time. I personally, if I had to give my opinion, I think college is still very, very much worth it, but really only if you are trying to gain something in college beyond the financial aspect, and specifically also only if you actually do it correctly. I feel that most people that will comment about how college is a scam, all that money, they're money hungry, greedy, led me to like loans and all that kind of stuff. I feel like most of these people, in my personal opinion, they're people that, again, either have never been to college or went to college, but kind of went either for the wrong reasons or they just didn't do it right. That's my personal opinion. Like, I knew friends that went to college, and again, huge respect, that in college they were active members of 0 clubs and 0 activities. All they did was literally just go to class, study. They never even overloaded. They never even took any kind of, you know, extremely, I guess you can say, any classes beyond their regular curriculum. They literally just did the minimum, where they just went to college, took the bare minimum of classes, studied, and then just slept and repeat over and over again. But I personally think that if you are able to go there for reasons beyond financial, if you are able to actually do it right and pursue it with the right reasons and in the right way, I personally think that for most people, college is still very, very much worth it. For most people. Not for everyone. Again, there are some people, but I think certainly for most people. So hopefully this sheds some insight about my personal opinion. If you found this insightful, definitely smash the like button if you haven't done so, and also consider subscribing if you're interested in content like this. But maybe comment down below and let me know, do you guys think college is worth it? Do you guys, and it's okay if you guys don't, because I'd love to hear your guys' opinion. And maybe if you guys go to college in like a foreign country, maybe comment down what college is like in your area. How does it compare? Because hopefully it doesn't cost you, if you go to college in a foreign country, $80,000 per year, including room and board and all that kind of crazy stuff for internet, you know, to attend private internet online university, at least potentially. Maybe, yeah, comment down below, do you guys think college is worth it? Do you guys not think it's worth it, and why? And maybe what your college experience was really, really like. Would love to hear them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hope to see you guys in a couple of days. Next couple of videos will probably be a little bit more finance based. I might make like one fun entertainment based video. But definitely stay tuned, because I think even if the next couple of content maybe is not fully of interest, because again, they're probably going to be more finance based, I think eventually, because I try to diversify this, one of the upcoming contents, maybe if not the next 2 or 3, hopefully one of them in the future will be a lot more resonating. And also because when you get the notifications for like these videos, it's very easy to X out the notification for like a video if you don't end up thinking it's interesting, than to just not even get the notification at all. So definitely consider subscribing if you're anything remotely interested, so you guys can get the notifications. And thank you guys so much, and hope to see you guys in coming future. Stay safe and stay well.